Hello, hello. Welcome to the weekly macro update, special edition. This is July 21st, 2026. I am so privileged and grateful to be working in the Quantum Wealth Discord and with Keith D and all the talented teachers there. It has been a wonderful opportunity. Um, my time here will be coming to an end in September. I will still be helping in any way I can, but I have my own project in life to get to. And Keith is pivoting away to greater and bigger heights. So please support him in every way and continue to show up every Monday for class. This is a special edition. We're going to be talking about things that are near and dear to my heart. Without getting political, we're just going to talk about the facts. We have been watching slowly the system built around us, the mainstream adopting crypto, flock cameras popping up everywhere, data centers popping up everywhere. It's affecting our farmland, it's affecting our animals, it's affecting our water, it's affecting our air, it's affecting our noise quality, and it's affecting our psychology, how we interact with AI, how those systems and algorithms affect how we interact with each other. We've watched how it's shaped our society. And again, I'm so privileged to be around the minds that show up to class every week and discuss things in this Discord. If there are minds like you out there, then I have hope for a very bright future. Keep asking questions and keep spreading knowledge. Look, people cutting down the flock cameras, I see it. And it matters because they don't want social credit because they don't want tracking all the time. You know, they already watch us all the time through our phones and through the Internet of Things, through our computers. They can tap into all that. It's proven. That's what Edward Snowden's leak was all about. They've been watching us for years, and you can guarantee that the Internet of Things is something they're watching us with. They're watching us through routers. We talked about why Chinese routers were being banned and imported 2 weeks ago because it's a security risk. And I think if you watched what the UN said about Agenda 2030, they are definitely worried about security risks. They're definitely worried about terrorism. They're worried about opinions and uprisings. They want micro communities, and they want to sort them in algorithms like they do in our social media online. Now, I think a few of you in class have been disheartened before or confused when I've said, look, these data centers are coming. They're coming no matter what. These technologies are coming. Robots, AI, tracking, flock cameras, identification. It's already there. The systems are already in major cities. These identification systems that government agencies use, they don't need to see your face. They can track how you walk. They identify us by our gait. They know that one of my hips is slightly higher than the other. And I'm sure that when I walk into any major city, they can tell just based on a defect that I have from years of hiking and athleticism. They can identify that about all of us. They don't have to see your face. They can see the car that you're driving. You see uh, the story in Florida where they were putting cameras on waste management trucks and they're checking people's yards for ordnance. Observation from waste management trucks. You've got all of our ring cameras dialed in. So if you've got our phones, our ring cameras, all the flock cameras, waste management, we've got cameras on the outside of our cars. Cops have 360 cameras. You've got plenty of people doing voluntary dash cam recordings now. Pretty much everything is on recording all the time. And you've got a forensic analysis in law enforcement that just sits down and pieces together the timeline based on camera movement. And yes, I'm sure that you can be tracked real time. Now, in China, they used this technology, um, and people have talked about it coming here. Well, it's I think that a lot of that is fear mongering because it's not 100% set up. But I think that there is a truth that this technology can totally lead to that. And that means that if you say something or do something that the government doesn't like, then you can't buy a plane ticket. You can't buy a train ticket. You can't go out that weekend and party. So there are lots of people right now that use loopholes. Trump himself has sat and boasted about using loopholes. A lot of digital technology and tracking technology, if used correctly, should keep humankind honest. But the problem is always that famous phrase, who watches the watchers? And that's what Edward Snowden taught us. Now, we know that this is happening. Don't pretend it's not. Don't pretend you're not being listened to, that you're not being data harvested at all times, that our social patterns aren't being watched and used, that they're not being exploited for marketing, sales, and political agendas. See, the firms that collect this data, they sell it. They sell it to governments. They don't care which, most of the time. A lot of these firms are private that do data harvesting. Now, when there's one blanket agency, which is the United States government, the NSA, and military intelligence, that is watching all things at all times, and there are certain governments and government alliances that are against the US that are trying to do that too. There are certain governments that are our allies and friends that are trying to do that too. But you can guarantee that there is an umbrella over everything that is intelligence agencies first, before it reaches the media, before it reaches the web. There are people sitting behind computers with highly intelligent AI agents crafted just for the government, just for this, going through videos and deleting them, deleting ideas that they don't like, trying to slow the spread of them. This is all proven. It's all declassified, or it's all been whistleblown and proven again. In China, they implemented it in 2010 and it failed. They implemented it again in 2014 and it has succeeded up to this day, but only in rich areas in a small province of China. It has not been implemented countrywide. What has been implemented countrywide is they have a centralized database just for their country that watches everyone in all their cities better than Western countries, better than anybody. China has a AI system that reads people's psychology. They have a pre-crime system right now ahead of everyone else. You can look into it, but South Korea also has a pre-crime program that's pretty advanced. Canada has a pre-crime program out in the open. They're more than you think. And yes, I said pre-crime. We're talking Minority Report. If you don't know what that is, go watch it for reference. Now, all right. So I'm editing this as I go along. You guys are usually with me live. But in Shandong, they gave every adult 1,000-point starting score, added points for volunteering or blood donation, deducted for traffic violations and other bad behavior. Top AAA folks got heating discounts on their utilities and other perks. Bottom D ratings meant extra police scrutiny. It stuck because locals actually bought in. From there, it spread to other pilot cities. Okay, look, the US doesn't have China's single government-run credit score, but no central database that docks points or jaywalking or political posts. But instead, it's a decentralized patchwork of private companies. It's government and tools that score a blacklist based on data. Your FICO credit score is the most familiar thing to everybody here. That's the first step to a social credit score. You know, um, data brokers could build scores based on all of your past transactional or business or behavioral histories. Uh, Drunk walking home from the bar, decide to stop and pee in an alleyway as a man. Well, the flock camera just caught it, and now they're going to predict your history, or maybe some prices are going to go up somewhere. It's not here yet, but we have things that are like it. If you use any of the delivery apps, they have a social credit system, right? For the driver, for the delivery person, and for the person receiving the delivery, or for the driver and the person ordering the car. Uh, if you have certain insurance apps, they've been doing this for a few years, where they track what's happening with your phone while you're in the car. They track your driving, and they will give you a reduction on your rate or special offers based on that. Flock cameras and ALPR networks create a physical tracking layer, like I've been talking about. They scan license plates, vehicle details, movement patterns, right? Insurance app like Progressive snapshot track your driving habits in real time. We talked about that. Digital ideas via state mobile drivers. Look, it's only one step away from this kind of stuff happening. It's only one step away from whoever's in power, no matter what side you're on, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter what you worship, okay? Because in 4 years and 8 years, it could be somebody of a different color, of a different religion sitting in that chair. It's the beauty of America. It's a good and bad thing. And it was built to prevent tyranny. But for the time that that party rules, or that president rules, especially with a supermajority, it feels like it. But there will be change if he steps down. No, we are not going to get into this. We don't talk politics. What can you do right now? You see the world changing. You see these things happening. You feel powerless. When I tell you it's coming, and people with multi-million dollars, multi-billion dollars, multi-trillion dollars are sitting there ramming it down your throat, when the elites in the UN are sitting there ramming it down your throat, and I'm telling you, we can't stop it. Well, we can't stop it, but we can direct it, and we sure as heck can put up a fight. But not all of us are like that. Not everybody's going to get out in the street. Not everybody's going to go to Washington. We need to adapt to what's going on, and I care about every single person that I teach and that watches Kyiv. I want people to be awake to the realities of our financial system. That's why I showed you exactly how the Federal Reserve makes money. That's why I'm frustrated and ignoring the markets in this week's presentation. Well, because we're still waiting for Kevin Warsh to pull a rabbit out of his hat. And if you want to know what that means, please go back and watch the other presentations. They matter. Look, there are ways, there are places to build community, to build private community, to do it legally. And you need to find people that you trust, and you need to build realistically. And that means being rooted in financial reality, in the realities of ownership, in contract, learning that and knowing it. Whether you're young and just now learning it, or you're older and feel like it's passed you by and you have to learn it to catch up, everyone here should be helping each other. And you should be taking small steps, and you should be finding like-minded individuals all the time, and building your tribe, building your family up into the biggest security that you can by playing the game that they're setting up for us. And if you're worried about your liberty and your safety in a digital age, then make sure that you're taking steps to not have all of your funds digital. I have even gone so far as to recommend to this class that in your investment plan and in your savings strategy plan, that you open a foreign account and that you hold foreign money, whatever you think is going to stay stable if the dollar was to collapse, or if an emergency was going to happen, or if you said something that the current people in power didn't like and you got cut off in a future not too distant from now. I'm not going to encourage breaking the law. I'm going to encourage standing up for your rights, what you believe in, and using your voice. On social media and in person, using your money to support people that you believe in that are fighting against these things, that are building something that you care about, that are fighting against things that are hurting the people around you. I think, personally, groups like this are popping up, and they're going to continue to grow because everyone's tired of waiting for a savior or one party or the other. I'm done pretending that one party's going to save us and the other's going to kill us depending on who's in power. The comedians just change who they're mocking. But we know that things don't change on the streets, and that's what made us hungry for knowledge, hungry for our own personal power. If you want that, make sure you learn what a cold storage wallet is for crypto. Make sure that you study the white papers and blockchains. There are still going to be cryptocurrencies out there that are not part of the mainstream system that are allowed to exist. Okay? And this technology is going to be adapted in other ways. There's going to be other encrypted technologies. You don't have to just hold what's in the mainstream exchanges. Crypto was used the early days of crypto, when everyone was a caveman and Bitcoin was under 10 cents a Bitcoin. Well, there was a frontier where we thought that digital currency was going to bring freedom to everyone, and they sold that idea. And it's starting to look like they're trying to enslave us more with it, and that makes me very sad. And I'm just being real. I love you guys. I'm going to buy crypto every week. I'm not saying don't hold it, but I'm saying always have a backup and build your tribe and build your own supply lines, build your own community, find a way to get some of your own food in some way. Raise animals if you can. Get together if you're poor and you got 5 poor friends, get together with those 5 poor friends and buy some land. Get a goat. Learn how to do that. If you guys actually want to survive and you're not just talkers, learn to identify the talkers. You hear talkers, don't cash out. Don't sell. Keep your dime in hands. Invest for yourself. Take care of yourself. Just because I'm telling you to build a community, that doesn't mean run out and accept everyone. You have to be very careful. There is a website I'd like to show you guys. It's called Retribalize. I have a community here. You can build a community here. People are building small cities and tribes and businesses in a authentic and meaningful way. Retribalize.ai. Please check it out. I have a project on there. It's the Rocky Top Dream Center. You can apply if you want to be a part of that. It's going to be in Tennessee. You can start your own project. You can just look at what other people are doing. At least get some inspiration. There is hope for the future. All right? Protect yourself. Start planning. Start learning about these technologies. Buy physical gold. Buy physical silver. Buy tradable goods. Buy tradable assets. Think about things that people will need. I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week. We are at such a pivotal point in finance and global order that I don't know what's going to come out. And the best thing we can do is prepare ourselves and the people around us and equip ourselves with knowledge. I believe in all of you. I'll see you next week.